Welcome, this is Mark from supergenius99.com, and today's video lecture is going to be about creating equivalent fractions. Okay, so let's just jump right in. So the first one asks us to express the number 3 as an equivalent fraction having denominator 24. Okay, well, here's 3, and how can you write 3 as a fraction? Well, that's the same thing as 3 over 1, because any whole number over 1, is that whole number. Okay, now we know we want to come up with a fraction where the denominator is 24. Okay, so if I want the denominator to be 24, then I got to ask myself what times the old denominator will give me the new denominator. So what times 1 will give me 24? Well, 1 times 24 equals 24. So if I had to multiply the denominator by 24, then also multiply the numerator by the same number. So then, what is 3 times 24? Well, 3 times 24 is what? 72. Okay. So the fraction that is equivalent to 3 that has the denominator 24 is 72 over 24. Let's do another one. Okay. Express 3 as an equivalent fraction having denominator 8. So to turn 3 into a fraction, you just set it over 1. Okay. You know that you want the new denominator to equal 8. Okay. So you just look at the old denominator and say, what times the old denominator will give you the new denominator? So what times 1 gives you 8? Well, 1 times 8 equals 8. So then you also multiply 3 times 8. Okay. So what is 3 times 8? 24. Okay. So a fraction that is equivalent to 3, okay, that has a denominator 8, is 24 over 8. Now, you can reduce these fractions, but they're not asking us to reduce. They're asking us to find equivalent fractions. So we'll just leave it as it is. How about the next one? Express 29 over 22 as equivalent fraction with denominator 24. Well, 29 over 22, that's already a fraction, so we don't have to turn that one into a fraction. So here we just do the same process, okay. What times the old denominator will give us the new denominator? So what times 22 will equal 44? Well, 2. 22 times 2 equals 44. So then what is 29 times 2? 58. So equivalent fraction to 29 over 22 with the denominator 44 is 58 over 44. Okay, so far so good. And the next one, express 13 as equivalent fraction with denominator 6n. So let's turn 13 into a fraction. So 13 written as a fraction is 13 over 1. Okay. And we want it to equal some fraction with the denominator 6n. So what times the old denominator will give us the new denominator? So what times 1 gives you 6n? Well, 6n. 1 times 6n equals 6n. So then 13 times 6n will give you what? 13 times 6n, I got 78n. Okay, you can double check me. So a fraction that is equivalent to 13 with denominator 6n is 78n over 6n. And let's look at the last one. Express 6 as an equivalent fraction with denominator 5n. So 6 written as a fraction is 6 over 1. We want it to equal some fraction whose denominator is 5n. So we just got to ask ourselves, what times the old denominator will equal the new denominator? So what times 1 gives you 5n? Well, that's 5n. So then you make sure you multiply 6n by 5n. So 1 times 5n gives you 5n, so 6 times 5n is what? 30n. So an equivalent fraction to 6 with the denominator 5n is 30n over 5n. Okay, so this has been my video lecture about equivalent fractions. You can look me up online, www.supergenius99.com. Thanks for watching.